Hello and welcome to The Big Picture. The winter session of the Parliament is scheduled to end tomorrow. After having a relatively quieter and more productive budget session, this winter session has witnessed a strange situation. While the Lok Sabha has been very productive, in fact 105% productivity has been reached, the Raj Sabha has had just 68% productivity. In fact, during the last session, Raj Sabha had witnessed a 106% productivity. This situation seems to have emerged this session from the way numbers are stacked in the two houses. With a clear majority and along with its allies, the government has nearly 350 members in the Lok Sabha, while in the upper house it's in a minority, with the opposition numbers clearly in its favour. So as the winter session ends, we will discuss if the Parliament has now become a mere game of numbers and what would be the impact of it in the coming sessions also. To discuss this, I have an all-MP panel: Kirti Azad, BJP in the Lok Sabha; J.D. Seelam, former Union Minister of State and a Congress MP in Raj Sabha; Mohd Salim, CPI-M MP in the Lok Sabha; and Pavan Verma, Janata Dal-U MP in the Raj Sabha. Welcome to all of you. Kirti, so do you get the feeling that it's just now a game of numbers? In Lok Sabha, it will continue. You have this great productivity which is happening both in this session and the last session. Raj Sabha will continue to flounder its way.
Why do we come to Parliament, first of all? We come here to discuss the various problems that we have in the country. We also come here to pass bills, which is for the benefit of the people of our country. And if you're not letting the Parliament run, I suppose that is the biggest disservice to the nation and to the people of our country.
So, whom do you hold it responsible?
I think it's basically the opposition who is stalling Parliament. You see what's happening in Raj Sabha, and that virus has caught into Lok Sabha. And they have been, even today, today I don't want to name the Member of Parliament who threw a newspaper cutting on the face of the Deputy Speaker, which I think is absolutely unparliamentary.
Seelam?
Yeah.
Seelam, you people have majority in the Raj Sabha, so, the opposition, the Congress. So you think holding the House to ransom is your,
I'm
right.
happy my friend Kirti has said that, we come to Parliament to deliberate, and then I hope he remembers this, the entire 5-year period, what BJP and their friends have done, the country has witnessed. That's a different thing. Having seen that they have believed the leader, Mr. Modi, and then I think the youth, aspirational youth have voted to power. Who is responsible? He is saying that opposition is responsible. I am sorry to say this, as you said, if the opposition is responsible for what it is, the first session was 106% success in Rajya Sabha. Why this session? What happened in between? In between, you know what has happened. The Prime Minister, outside the House, inside the House, he appealed to everybody that they should not cross Lakshmana Rekha. They should not create a sense of fear, a sense of, confusion among various groups, social groups, religious groups in the country, he mentioned. Even after that, the Vice President with the Chairman of the House, he read out the resolution of the House. Then after that, you know what is happening. So we were only saying the Honorable Prime Minister should come and say that this will not be tolerated. That's all we are asking. We are here to support. We are here to legislate. We are here to deliberate, discuss. We believe in democracy. We don't believe in any anarchy. This is what I would like to submit to my friend and also to the nation through you.
They're digging graves. That's all I can say. For simple reason that once a statement was given.
Whose grave are they?
No, just now we said that there's one nation, one people, one country. Yes, we do agree to the ethos as far as India is concerned. It's a secular country. We do agree. We have a development agenda. The opposition doesn't want it to be shown to people because they know the way this government has been working. They talked about that we stalled Parliament in the 15th Lok Sabha. The issues were 2G, 3G, Colgate, CWG. You ask for any Gs and you find all of them there. There were land scams and everything were going on.
So that was now, justified.
When the Honorable Parliamentary Affairs Minister, when you're talking about Dharmantaran, he simply said that the party does not subscribe to it. The government doesn't do that. It was very openly, nicely and frankly spoken. Even our president of the BJP has said that we don't believe in this. And if at all you want to get a law, let's get together, decide and have a discussion and get an anti-conversion law. I mean, what's wrong with that? When that issue was cleared, I failed to understand why they're doing this.
Salim? In fact, you know, in fact, both of you, you and Seelam, your parties have behaved in one fashion in the Lok Sabha and another fashion in the Rajya Sabha. Why?
I don't think. Rather, the BJP, who is running the government, it has to be responsible somewhat. We should have a responsive government and a responsible party in the government. Instead, we have a responding parliamentary affairs minister. Every now and then, he is responding. When the opposition wants
the floor, that he responds.
Unfortunately,
if he doesn't respond, you'll say he's not responding.
No, allow me to say.
If he doesn't respond, you'll say he's not responding. When he's responding, you'll say, why is he responding?
To give misgivings?
Kuch kahe to khafa, chup rahe to khafa.
Let him finish.
Clear the weather. It's a height of God to speak, because the Sangh Parivar elements in South, deep South in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, in West Bengal, Calcutta, and somewhere else is making some announcements, big noises. Hamara mal वापस आएगा, considering human beings as mal, materials, bricks and mortars, and to destroy the constitution. And the government is saying, he's right, that we have nothing to do with it. You are a responsible government. After all, Sangh Parivar, you are from Sangh Parivar. Prime Minister says, I am the Pradhan Sevak. And when the Sangh Sevaks are doing havoc in the name of conversion, and Parliament is a place where it should be discussed. What is there? Government is avoiding the discussion. Parliament is all about debate,
We had
discussion. No discussion. Debate.
We didn't have discussion.
Not in Rajya Sabha.
No, we didn't have.
It's
We are
not
asking
Parliament.
for
At least allow me
discussion
to say here.
in the presence of.
Allow me to say something else. This is why this logjam. This logjam is about why? Because opposition has many things to say. Even today, what happened in Lok Sabha? We wanted to say 5 minutes each, all parties could have spoken. Then Minister would have responded. We wanted Prime Minister to come. Prime Minister is there in this Delhi. He is not abroad now. He is inside Parliament precincts, but he's not. He's coming in the house, but he's not opening his mouth. He is a very outspoken person. But why? Why? Who sealed his mouth? Sangh Parivar? We want a Prime Minister to intervene in the situation. Parliament is to discuss not only bills. Parliament is to discuss the evolving issues and emerging situations.
Salim,
if a situation emerges,
Salim,
why not it will be discussed?
No, 1 second.
Why you start the discussion?
No, 1 second, JD.
You force them.
No, I agree with. No, I agree with all your formulations. I agree with what you're saying. But the question is, why is the opposition behaving in a certain fashion in the Lok Sabha and in a different fashion in Rajya Sabha? Why is there, if this was a major issue, then we should have seen it in Lok Sabha.
It's the other way around. It's the other way around. It's a government. Because you said your opening remark was number. Unfortunately, of course, in democracy, number matters. But if parliament is run, if the government is run on the basis of brute majority, so what's happening in Lok Sabha, you have scant respect to the parliamentary democracy. The Prime Minister is not intervening or responding. The opposition is not getting its chance. And even the bills we are passing, it is not discussed in the BSc. Normally we don't discuss about BSc. It is not in the government list of business. Okay. Government come with a business. All of a sudden, surreptitiously they are bringing in because you have a number. Okay. And Rajya Sabha, because they don't have the number, they cannot brutally manage this.
I must just for a quick minute, let me respond. Let me quickly respond.
Yeah.
He said that what's happening in Kerala, what's happening where, it's an issue of the state. Central government has got nothing to do with it. The central government has very frankly said it. You want a discussion? Have a discussion. Have a discussion. Whether you want anti-conversion laws or not. But what is happening in the state? Go ahead and take action against those who are talking about these conversions.
You can respond. Let me get Pavan first on this. Pavan Verma, so is it just a brute majority working? It is the same question which I asked Salim also. The opposition seems to behave in a certain fashion in the Lok Sabha and in a completely different fashion in the Rajya Sabha.
Well, Girish, numbers are important, and in the Lok Sabha, as someone called it, there is the tyranny of the majority, and in the Rajya Sabha, the voice of the opposition is felt by a greater presence of numbers. Let me first concede to you that disruption of parliament is not an edifying spectacle. As I wrote recently, in its entire history, the House of Commons has not been adjourned for a single day, and soon we'll have a record that there is not a single day when our House is not adjourned. That being said, let me put in perspective why the Rajya Sabha did not function this time.
Right.
I'll just take a minute to sum it up.
Please.
On December 1st, Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti made an atrocious statement where she dubbed most people in India as Haramzado. There was an uproar in Parliament, and because of the repeated adjournments forced in the Rajya Sabha, the Prime Minister was, let us say euphemistically, persuaded to come and make a statement. He made a statement expressing disapproval of her language and asked the House to forgive her, including for the fact that she came from a village. The House felt that her resignation should have been sought. The opposition felt strongly, but in the light of the Prime Minister's statement, they wanted a resolution to be passed condemning what the Minister said. The BJP didn't agree to that. Finally, a compromise was found in the statement by the chair. Now, after this, when the opposition was willing to dilute its stand and ensure that the House functions, almost immediately after that, a sitting BJP MP, Sakshi Maharaj, says in the precincts of the wider precincts of Parliament that Godse is a Rashtra Bhakt, with an explicitly communal overtone to his comment. At the same time, Yogi Adityanath makes a series of highly volatile communal statements and says that he will spearhead the mass conversion program, including in places like Aligarh, and there were reports out of Agra. The Dharm Jagran Samiti says that by 2021, India will be a Hindu Rashtra with no place for Christians and Muslims.
Okay.
Christmas
so what is the point?
declared to be a working day. So there are a series of events. The opposition is concerned. The opposition is not in the House merely to endorse government's legislative agenda if there are other issues of far greater importance in terms of its perspective for India. So it was voicing that concern, and its only demand was that the Prime Minister participate in a debate. Why? Why? Because it was his assurance to the House.
Okay. Let me get
regards his own MPs and ministers,
okay,
which
Pavan.
was violated. No, Girish, you come to me last, I'll take 20
No, let me get Kirti on this.
That violation had been, that assurance had been violated. Just let me finish, I'll take 15 seconds. Secondly, the motion before the House for discussion was of a nature attack on secularism that it involved more than one ministry, one minister. The Prime Minister is best suited to reply to it. And thirdly, there's a democratic practice that even the entire opposition is united in seeking the Prime Minister's participation in a debate and his assurance to the House on an issue which is causing national concern. What is the prestige issue? Why can he not participate in a debate?
Okay.
The House has been held up.
Okay, Pavan, let me get
the BJP's government's obdurateness.
Okay, let me get Kirti. This is a very valid what Pavan is saying. Prime Minister comes to the House, doesn't talk. I mean, the opposition has a right to demand a statement from the Prime Minister. Why has it become a prestige issue? Has it become a prestige issue?
Sir, with due respect to Mr. Pavan Verma, the day the discussion was to take place in Rajya Sabha, he had come to the Rajya Sabha. And the Honorable Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, he said that the Prime Minister will sit throughout the debate and will answer as and when he'll intervene when required. Wasn't that good enough? Which meant that he was going to be till the end and would have answered. But there was a ruckus in Rajya Sabha. It wasn't created by the ruling party or the minority that we are in Rajya Sabha. That was number one. Secondly, when he talks about Niranjan Jyoti, nobody accepted it. The Prime Minister himself came up and gave that statement. Mr. Sakshi Maharaj had to apologize for what he had said about Nathuram Godse. And when the Prime Minister himself was sitting in the Rajya Sabha, when the debate had started and the House got adjourned, who's to be blamed? The Prime Minister, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the NDA government, or the opposition? That is my question.
No, the issue is this. Do you think that...
May I make a quick rejoinder?
Yes, very quickly.
May I make a quick rejoinder? The Prime Minister deigned to be present in the House. But even as the opposition was asking that he should make the reply and participate in the discussion, the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, repeatedly stood up and said...
Then he missed out an opportunity to embarrass if you thought that the Prime Minister is not going to reply.
Home Minister will reply, Prime Minister will intervene. That was the offer made, apparently. But,
he came for his... It was his question hour day. He was present in that context.
That doesn't matter.
No, no, but
He
the
says
discussion
he
has
never
started.
gave an assurance that he will participate in that debate.
No, okay. But Kirti, my question is this, that, your government, ever in the last 6 months, which started off well, the budget session, the productivity of the budget session is an indication of, how things were. But now in between these 3-4 months, do you think that your government is being sort of, reined in by your party and your associate parties outside what's happening outside the parliament?
We have made it very
because
clear.
it is obvious what has happened. This session is completely a reflection of what's happening outside the house.
There are so many things that are being said outside parliament by so many people, Mohd ke Saudagar and so many other things that have come out. You can't make that an issue. And once the thing has come and somebody has apologized, and the Prime Minister and the Parliamentary Affairs Minister has already said that we don't subscribe to such opinion, I fail to understand why shouldn't we be productive in Parliament?
Seelam, you have to answer this. Because, there was an offer, as Kirti pointed out, and that Prime Minister was there in the House, he would have intervened. What was the problem? Why? They said Home Minister will reply, he will intervene. What was the problem in accepting that?
Girish, whatever my friend says, I would like to appeal to him and his party that the Prime Minister, before he entered the Parliament, he bowed down and he prostrated. Sastang pranam kiya unhone. Such a man, when he became Prime Minister, I am sure he talks very nicely outside. He talks very, a great orator. But why can't he come and say, I am here to take care of every section of this country? Because as my LOP said, he was denied visa. I don't want to get into that.
Nothing
but
else.
Now more people believed. That's why he got 31% of the vote. He believed that he'll take care of. He said that I'll take care of everybody in this country. We only want him to come and say that why this is because even after the Honorable Prime Minister's assurance, these things are happening. These fringe elements are taking over, and then they are almost spreading venom, I must say. There is a tension, confusion, and then a feeling of insecurity. Is it not the duty of the Prime Minister to come and reply that I will take care? This sort of assurance, it takes only 10 minutes for the Honorable Prime Minister to assure this nation through the House that I am here to take care of everybody.
Salim?
That's all we want.
Salim,
slightly difference. Who is the fringe element? Now it comes Sangh Parivar, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Dharm Jagran, Samanvaya Samiti. They are the main body.
No,
and
Salim,
government people are becoming fringe elements.
Salim,
That's
1
why.
second. No, 1 second. Why is it that you people take note of so much of the fringe elements outside what is being done outside?
What is happening in Parliament?
I'm telling you, because initially it was thought of these are the fringe elements and government will have reign on them. But now the government is totally surrendering. That's why Prime Minister is not facing the Parliament.
No, that is wrong.
He cannot respond. He cannot refute Sangh Parivar. Now,
Sir,
government
it is
and
wrong.
BJP becoming fringe element, and the Sangh Parivar Togaria company, they are becoming the main. That's why
Sir, it is a wrong statement, sir.
Government is saying we are not supporting conversion.
With due respect.
Mohan Bhagwat Saturday in Calcutta says, "Hamara maal hame wapas aana chahiye."
माल क्या
This is
होता है?
माल बोला.
माल क्या होता
Material.
है?
No, do you endorse this?
Is it?
You'll say no.
You
So in Parliament you so condemn it.
Treating, that is why.
BJP cannot master the courage to condemn what RSS is doing and Sangh Parivar is doing.
Did you condemn Bukhari?
You cannot. Yes. Be it Bukhari, be it Taliban.
Okay.
Hindu
Did you
Taliban,
condemn
Muslim
Bukhari?
Taliban.
But we didn't bring it into
They're all
Parliament.
saying,
We didn't bring
you
that into
are
Parliament.
Talibanizing
That's
Hindu.
an issue for Parliament. That's a trivial issue for
You are not
Parliament.
taking lesson
And if
from
anybody is going to
Peshawar.
Calcutta, let the Bengal police take
Same
action
thing,
against
ruling
him.
cliques
Who's
of
saying
Pakistan
no?
did it. They compromised with these elements, who were the fringe elements. Now they are the
Mohammed
main
Salim
elements.
Saab, I
And
think
this is
you are
what BJP is
splitting
doing.
hair.
You
You are
cannot
making a
make
mountain out
Hindu
of a
Pakistan
molehill.
here.
You are bringing issues which are non-issues. When the
Non-issue.
government has said that, when
Even
our
so,
president has said that we don't subscribe to such things,
Why
what has
Mohan
happened
Bhagwat is
outside,
making this
it's a
statement?
law and order matter. Law and order. Let
Kirti,
Bengal. You are from
Kirti,
there.
if you are
Let
Azad,
ask.
Kirti, if you are Azad, you
Yes,
say,
I am Azad.
why Mohan Bhagwat is saying this?
No, if he has said it, let the Bengal police take action
Isn't it
against him.
nonsense?
Okay.
Let's take Bengal police.
It's not a law and order situation.
It's
a constitutional thing.
Kirti,
No,
is it
it's not because there is no law in
Violation of
There is
constitution.
no
Not
law
law,
except
simple
for 5
It's a
states.
violation of
Muhammad Salim
constitution.
Saab, except 5 states in our country, you don't have a conversion law in our country.
So you need...
They have made it. It is
No,
either
no,
let
no,
us...
one
this is the
second.
problem.
Okay,
No, no, one
one
second.
Why this problem is happening?
Okay, fine. Didn't
Why
the
is
government
this
say...
problem
Then please
Didn't
don't
the
talk
government
to
say
each
we are
other.
ready
No,
to
no,
discuss
please.
the issue
One
on
second.
floor of the
There
House?
is no law required for conversion. The Constitution is the biggest law.
Okay.
Everybody should obey the
Seelam,
Constitution.
Seelam, we
The
have not
Prime
yet-
Minister should assure this nation that he will protect the Constitution. He will abide by the Constitution.
What do you have to say about those people who've been converted in Bhagalpur just now?
Kirti, we are not discussing conversions.
Whoever may be.
We are not discussing, that's a separate
You have various
distinct
versions.
argument. So there's a separate debate, we'll have that. But Kirti, the
That
question...
is the issue that they are made out of. They don't want the parliament to function. They don't want the development agenda of the government to come out. That's the problem.
What have they done?
They haven't done anything in 60 years. They haven't done anything in 60 years. The left was also in support for 5 years.
They are
We
demanding,
have seen...
One second.
extracting their pound of flesh.
Yeah, nothing is done in 60 years.
One second,
You have seen
one
how
second, Seelam.
Maoists got their way from Gadchiroli in
Let me ask a
2009.
question, Kirti. Is your government... See, it's very well understood in parliamentary system that the government has a responsibility to ensure that the House functions as much as the opposition has. Government has more responsibility. So what is it? What is that one step which your government... You just one day to go now. We don't expect anything much to happen. But at least in the coming sessions, do you think that there will be some kind of a system evolved so that we don't have this kind of system problems again?
I hope better sense prevails on the opposition.
No, what about the government? What about the role of the government? What about the responsibility of the
which are
government?
non-issues for the government, which has been clarified,
Pavan,
unnecessarily repeating it all the time. It's
Pavan,
like putting a pitcher upside down and trying to pull water.
weekend
It won't go in.
Pavan,
One thing.
Pavan, non-issues. You people are
Girish,
trying to create issues
please
out of
allow me.
non-issues.
Girish, let me say that this is a duly constituted government running India at the center. You cannot constantly deflect the responsibility by saying, these are organizations, they are not part of the BJP, they are part of the Sangh Parivar, we have no control of them, when we know that there is a direct umbilical cord between them and the BJP. The BJP and the RSS are peas out of the same pod. It's not something that needs to be verified, it's known. Secondly, you cannot also say that when you are dealing with inflammatory statements made by all India organizations, that everything can be parceled out as responsibility of states. The government at the center, under whose Chhatra Chaya these organizations have proliferated and are now feeling duly empowered and more emboldened, somebody has to rein them in. And I want to make a last point.
Yes.
If the country is hurtling towards a communal conflagration, can the parliament remain insulated out of it
Seculars.
and function normally as if nothing is at stake?
Kirti?
Secular.
No, using these kind of phrases will not help.
It's not secular.
My
It's not
question is
secular.
this.
No.
Do you agree that there is with what Pavan is
this
saying,
is the
that there
kind
is
of argument which has no
tension in the
meaning,
country.
secular and
There's-
secular.
So naturally
Where is the
those
tension?
tensions will get reflected in the parliament.
No.
So isn't
They are
it the
behaving
duty?
like ostriches.
Isn't it the duty of the government to ensure
is
that
happening.
those tensions are suppressed?
Listen, I don't want to look like as they are trying to portray me. And I'm not. Your conversions have been taking place since the 17th century in our country. Since not now. People are being converted. No action, nobody's talking about it. Even after independence.
One second.
Please don't interrupt. Even after independence, conversions
The
have taken
mass
place.
program of
Why is it?
reconversion
It's not the point.
is an open
Hasn't it happened in
instrument for
Kerala?
inciting religious hatred.
Hasn't it happened in Kerala? Hasn't
What
conversion
is
taken
the
place
point?
2 days
What
ago?
is the point?
See, it is
One second.
if somebody,
And
What is the point
somebody
you are
is
making?
converting into some religion,
So you think
that's his right to do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
If he wants to do that.
Very good.
Right? And
And
if
you are
at
with
all,
government.
and
Very
if
good,
at all,
very good.
if at all anybody objects, that is the time when you should do something about it.
There is a lot of objection now happening.
No, where is the objection?
You don't think there is any
That's
objection?
why they are
Where
not
is
pressing
objection?
parliament.
Huh? Objection.
That's why they are
Where is
allowing
objection?
parliament to discuss.
Where is objection? And
That
I'm
is why
not,
the
I'm
parliament
not
is
for or
listen
against.
to the voice.
I'm not for it. No,
You-
please don't
it's a
put words in,
democratic
Mr.
government,
Mohammed Salim.
duly elected
Please don't
government.
put words in my mouth. I'm saying conversions have been taking place since the 17th century.
Yes.
Please, for God's
So you
sake.
want to take this
Please,
Seelam,
no,
Seelam.
no. I
Okay.
said you want.
You
Let's have
promised
an
to take it to
anti-conversion law in our
21st century.
country.
Okay, Seelam, the question is this. There is no doubt that the opposition has every right to bring subjects outside what is happening, the social situation outside, or whatever happens outside the house are certainly matters of debate inside the house. But also this feeling that the opposition is stalling the government in Rajya Sabha, specifically because it has these numbers and it doesn't want the government to pass certain bills that feeling is there among the people. How are you going to defend yourself against that?
No, Girish, immediately after Prime Minister came and give assurance on that day, after that we passed 4 bills. I'm sorry to say that you get such a feeling, because the education bills, establishment of Central University, establishment of the other institutions of national importance, we passed the bill subsequent to the Prime Minister's assurance. It is not that we have continued. After these things are happening, after the alleged incident, and then whatever Verma ji has said, one honorable member of parliament, he said, the Muslims, Christians, the terrorists and Maoists are the biggest threat of this nation. What does it mean? What does it mean? There's a constitutional violation.
Somebody said that in Parliament?
Yes, these kind of provocative statements.
Somebody said that in Parliament?
No, not in Parliament. Not in Parliament.
One second.
Do you think somebody has to speak in Parliament only?
No, Kirti, at least do you agree? No? You have also been, you people have been in the opposition for 10 years. We have seen what are the issues which have been raised. So what happens outside the house is also matters which needs to be brought in the house. Would you agree with that at all?
But sir, definitely, I do agree. They bought, very good, they bought it. But hasn't the government made it stand clear on these issues?
No, not yet.
Haven't they done that?
You have not.
Haven't they done that? Even, when it comes to Niranjana Jyoti, the Honorable Prime Minister intervened. Mr. Sakshi Maharaj said sorry to what was happening. When the thing came on to conversions, didn't the Honorable Parliamentary Affairs Minister say that we don't subscribe to the view and we're ready to get an anti-conversion law?
Pavan Verma, here Kirti Azad has a point. On every issue which has been raised, government, either one of the ministers have been making remarks, have been giving assurances. Why are you people not satisfied with these assurances? Why is it that you insist that only the Prime Minister should come and talk?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point.
For the simple reason, Girish, that the response that we have seen from the government, and often the lack of response, almost points to the fact that the government and its leadership is complicit with these statements. In the case of Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti, she made an offence under the Indian Penal Code and against the Constitution and violated her oath as an MP and a minister. Any government would have sacked her for that kind of remark in a civilized country. Instead of that, we got the mildest of disapprovals from the Prime Minister. We were even prepared to accept that and work on it. But there were a rash of statements from sitting BJP MPs. Do we have a scenario of everybody provoking and then tendering a half-hearted apology? And the opposition keeps watching and waiting for the next provocation and the next apology? No.
Okay.
We expect the government to take action to rein in these elements, or at least for the Prime Minister to have the grace to give an assurance in a debate for which the opposition asks him to come.
Okay. Kirti Azad, finally, very quickly, we're running out of time. Do you think that your government should at least act on this and ensure that the House functions, because it's in your own interest to ensure that the House functions?
Yes, sir. I do agree with you. I've explained the entire thing. I can give the facts, but people have to use their own brains. I can't give it to them. Secondly,
will not take that extra step to ensure,
sir,
rule. I mean,
the last issue was the Honorable Prime Minister to be there in Rajya Sabha. He was there in Rajya Sabha. Let Mr. Pavan Verma say it was his question day, so he was there. But he was sitting there, the Honorable Parliamentary Affairs Minister intervened and said that he would be there throughout the debate and would intervene as and when. That means he wasn't only going to speak in the end, but intervene maybe once, twice, thrice, 4 times.
So,
but unfortunately,
you think whatever
the development agenda of the government, they are trying to basically put that into the back burner,
Girish,
get issues which are non-issues.
Absolutely. You are absolutely wrong. We are waiting for a very constructive debate where the Prime Minister would respond and issue the nation and put an end to this whole confusion.
This session is almost over, is virtually over. Next session, will we see the same kind of situation?
That Atal Bihari Vajpayee or Jawaharlal Nehru
one second.
Come into the debate voluntarily.
Okay.
If the government led by Modi ji continue with this approach that they will avoid parliament, they will not listen to the parliament, and they will unleash these brute forces of Sangh Parivar to do whatever they like, the parliament will be always in this kind of situation.
Yes, we are completely run out of, unfortunately.
This
but
this
is an inconclusive debate as we are witnessing in the parliament also. But hope that as somebody said right at the beginning, the tyranny of numbers hopefully will not be the basis on which Parliament is run. We hope to see that, all the, in the next session at least, more productivity. Thanks to all my guests, Pavan, Verma, Kirti, Azad, JD Seelam and Mohammed Salim. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue in the big picture, same time tomorrow.